top-down shooters of every variety. To start off today's episode, I'm going to continue my Cupo 707 love fest with Bullet Heaven. Now, any of you that watched the last episode went and played Adventure Story and followed my directions has probably already played this game. What this is it is a top-down shooter, obviously, and I'm going to say side-scrolling fashion because it's the exact same thing whether they're coming in from the side or from the top. It's that style of shooter, and it's got the extremely brain-meltingly, wrist-cuttingly difficult style of Ikaruga, or some of those slightly more well-known games. What this game is, effectively, you can pick one of several different characters. You start with 2, but you unlock up to 5 for high-ranking performances on the levels, A and S, which also unlock bonus versions of the bosses, but that's a different beast entirely. You pick a different character. Each character plays a little differently. They have a different type of primary and secondary attack and a different number of oh shit bombs. And you scroll through level after level of incredibly creative but ridiculously difficult enemies. Ridiculously difficult. The amount of bullets on the screen at any given time in this game is fucking staggering. I mean, the first few levels, it's not that terrible. You kind of get a feel for it, but by the time you're through the first world, it's just a bullet apocalypse everywhere. Fortunately, your hitbox is a grand total of 1 pixel. That's right at the point of your mouse, which gives you the ability to weave through the unending hail of righteous death that gets thrown at you by everything. Now, like every Cupo 707 game, this game has got some pretty goddamn glorious bosses. I absolutely love the boss fights in this game. They start out with just a horde of enemies marching across your screen. You have to plow through for 20-30 seconds before the actual boss himself comes out. And he sprays the most ridiculous predetermined attack bullet patterns onto the screen. Like, it's completely unbelievable that these are even possible at first glance. The gaps, you will go into what I like to call tunnel vision. And this is not just tunnel vision, this is an entirely new level of tunnel vision, trying to fight the bosses in this game. And if the bosses are too easy for you, get an S ranking on enough levels, and you get the fucking ridiculous version of every boss. Which is like the boss, if he decided to just shit on your face right out of the gate, instead of ramping up with harder and harder attacks as the fight goes on. One of them in particular, the super hard version of the Sphinx, just crapped on me for so long. I could not beat it. There's just so much bullet and laser. It's unbelievable. Don't let that deter you, though. There is a ranking and upgrading system, so this guy cannot make a game without some sort of RPG progression. So if you do get stuck on a level, you can typically whack your face on it until you've ground up enough money for a couple upgrades, which they're big upgrades. Like, it makes life markedly easier when you get these upgrades. Or you can always try coming at it with another character or another strategy. Considering there's variety and ways to attack a problem in a top-down shooter coming out of this guy, I'm going to go ahead and recommend this one highly. Flying motherfucking colors. Go ahead, the link I'm posting here, I know you can't click it because I can't make external links because I'm not cool enough yet. The link you're seeing here takes you to Congregate. You can just go there and search the game and find it. That's the best place I'd say to play it. Go there, give this a shot, see how far you can get, and if anyone can beat Faux Rush, you have my fucking respect because it's impossible. Next on the list, we have Groov. I'm sure almost none of you have heard of this game. This is an Xbox Live indie game, and like the vast majority of indie games, is 80 Microsoft points, which is $1 fucking dollar. Go get a goddamn dollar and buy this game. It's similar to Geometry Wars. It's got that type of style. It's a twin-stick shooter. But everything you do in this game is synced to music. There's a light kind of background music that just it's more like a beat than anything else that plays over everything. But everything from enemies dying to your ship firing creates sound. And I mean, this doesn't sound pretty cool in and of itself, but I mean, as you can see in the background here, it's just a fucking hypnotizing effect that comes out of this game. And considering it's only $1, this is more than worth it. I played the trial for this game, and immediately I was like, I have to buy this. I have to buy this game. It's pretty great. Even though I think you technically can play through 90%, if not all of the game in the trial, it's So if you're really cheap, you can do that. This person is deserving of your dollar, I promise. There's all sorts of different enemies with different types of attack patterns. There's even some that take a bunch of hits to take down that all make different sounds when they're hit and destroyed. And everything falls into a beat. You fire on a beat, enemies can only die on certain beats and they make certain sounds. Like you'll see as I hit them, they turn white. They don't immediately die. Once they're white, they can no longer harm you, but they just keep existing until there's a good beat for them to die on that'll fit into the music. So it ends up with this completely hypnotizing funk coming out of your TV that it's difficult to look away from. Now the downside of this game is being an indie game, it does have a little bit of an issue with the controls sometimes, the right stick in particular. It seems if you hold it in one direction, sometimes it'll stick and wiggle. You have to wiggle it around a bit to shoot a different direction, but I mean, that's a minor coding issue. Also, the game is pretty short and is not exceptionally difficult. So, I mean, you're not going to get a huge challenge out of this, really. Although, if you want one, there's my high score tables. Have at it, especially the goddamn remix score. If you can beat that, you win. Remix mode, by the way, is just an onslaught. You have 1 life, you have no slowdown, which is your superpower you can activate. And you just have to get as many points as you can against a horde of everything. But, I mean, everything about this game, it's just, it all pulls together into one experience that you really have to play. I mean, I imagine if this is your boat here, this will be the greatest game of the universe to try and play stoned. Not that I'm endorsing that in any way, but it probably is. Seriously, just at least download the trial. You can do that for free. Give it a shot. It helps if you know a little bit about music, if only because your slowdown can only be activated on the downbeat of the music. So you gotta you can feel it. Even if you don't know anything about music, you can feel the downbeats. It's the start of a phrase. You can pick up on that. That's when you can activate your slowdown. If not, you can just hold the goddamn button down until it turns on. You'll figure it out eventually, I believe in you. Get it! Get it now! The last game we have today is I Made a Game with Zombies. Now, as ridiculous as this screen right here looks, go ahead and trust me, this game is amazing. And I'm also going to preface this by saying, I made this video at 1 in the morning, and none of my friends wanted to come over at 1 in the morning so I could record some multiplayer footage. But this game does support and should really, really be played with 4 players. It's only local, it's an indie game. Again, it's 80 Microsoft points, $1, go get it. But you can do up to 4 player, it's not split screen because you're all on the same screen, cooperative. And it is so much more fun when you get a group. Because the game just slaps how many players you have factor on the number of zombies on the screen. So with 4 people, it's absolutely ridiculous. Again, I'm sorry I don't have footage of that. But what this is, it's another twin-stick shooter we've got. And it's mental. It's completely mental. I don't know what this person was on when he made the game, but he needs to be on it all the time because he is an amazingly creative person on whatever this substance is. The general concept is you're a dude with a gun and you shoot zombies that come at you and they drop weapon power-ups that'll give you shinier weapons. And that's literally all there is to it. But it's not just zombies. You have, for one, the completely epic background music, which just makes the whole game. If you listen to if you listen to the words of the music, it's talking about the game and it's hilarious. If you can make out what the hell he's saying through all the gunfire and explosions, it's absolutely hilarious and completely fits the experience. You go through fighting everything from zombies to snakes to big green blobs to arbitrary clouds, and then the game thinks it's Geometry Wars and then madness. I mean, it's one of those, you gotta play it. You can get the trial, you can play 4-player co-op in the trial. So I mean, you can download the trial and give it a whirl with all your friends. Go ahead and tell them that they're gonna do something insane for a minute and just shut the hell up and go with it. Play this game with you, because it is completely amazing. Now, all the different weapons, they're really varied. They give you all sorts of different ways you can try and defend yourself and survive, although it kind of at some point turns into a, oh my god, grab something, I'm going to die scramble, because it's a clusterfuck. And again, I'm going to have to put the disclaimer that, I mean, it's not terribly hard, but that's not the point of it. I've played through this game probably a total of 25 times with various friends or on my own to make this recording. I mean, I've done it so many times. It's just fun. It's just raw, unfiltered fun, which really That's what you want in a game, isn't it? You want to be able to just sit down with your friends or even by yourself and just turn this on because you don't feel like being serious and just shoot the hell out of some zombies while this ridiculous song plays in the background. Everything runs completely smoothly. It's got a scoreboard if you give a fuck because it's local only. So it's pretty much just you can shove in your friend's face, I'm better than you because I picked up all the lives and fuck you. And it's just a ridiculous amount of fun to play. I don't know why, but I haven't laughed at anything like I laughed at this game playing it with my old roommate and his friends. So get this trial at least. But I would highly recommend, again, throw your dollar at this guy for his amazing creation. So get this, get Groov, and go ahead and play Bullet Heaven at the very least. That one's completely free. Just go over to Congregate, play some Bullet Heaven, enjoy some top-down shooter-based goodness, and I will be back with 3 more games for y'all here in a little bit. Good day.